Hi, and welcome to Lulay of All Aces, where you can learn nonsense to useful things that you can apply on your daily lives. And today, as I was browsing from my cell phone while I was on break from work because I was on duty, got my 12-hour shift that was done. It was so busy, and what to expect, of course, you can't be expecting a lot of benign for those nurses who can relate. We say benign if your duty is not so busy, and we could say we call it like toxic if you have been busy from beginning to end of the shift. And as I was browsing, I did a video about topics on what you would like me to feature out, or topics that you would like me to recommend. And yeah, lots of bear is here. Lots of bear is one of the toys in Disney movie, or was it Disney? Or yes, Disney movie, Toy Story 1, 2, and 3. You know, the bad guy um, who's been so grumpy because he thought all the while that his owner, the kid who used to play with him, left him and just found another Lotsa bear, and that's why he's been grumpy and is looking for other people who could, or other toys who could be as grumpy as him, and would try to manipulate that toy to say that your owner will not be playing with you anymore because your owner will be looking for another toy to play with. Or it's like he'll be saying your owner is too old for you now. So going through that scenario, the comment that somebody told me, one of my friends actually, mentioned if I could explain what true friendship means. So it's going to be like more of I wouldn't say advice, because I am not in the position to just literally advise you or tell you about having friends, because in a real conversation with other people, there are certain topics that I think that I would advise you to avoid raising up some arguments. And one of those are about relationship. Like if you're talking in a group, topics that you would avoid to avoid argument would be friendship, types of relationships, politics, religion, and money. I think those topics, or probably there will be more topics other than what I have mentioned, are, I think, more advisable to be discussed among one or two, two or three, because you won't be discussing anything except if you're doing video, right? That you could be discussing it alone, but you could be discussing it with other people, like 2 or 3 persons would involve. Like if you're in a big group, I think, in my opinion, those topics that I have mentioned to you are a bit of a sensitive things that if a group of person, let's say 5, 6, 7, or more, would be talking about this topic, would create faction or argument. So now when I tried typing the word friend in Google, Wikipedia, and looking for concrete meaning of what friend is, it varies. And in my opinion, I believe that based on my experiences with other people, the definition of a friend varies, but it varies on a person. Now, a friend would be somebody that you would consider um, talking with, having conversation with. A friend is somebody who would be like among your colleagues. A friend would be somebody who is intimate. A friend would be someone coming from your relatives or family. A friend would be someone that you just instantly met, then you had a good connection. So I personally would define what friend is a friend is a person that you consider. So it depends on the person or on you. It depends on you, and the friendship is going to be based on your mutual affection. So I can't say that you're my best friend. Then in the long run, you don't consider me even as a friend. So a friend is a person. It may either be the opposite sex. It may either be related to you. It may either be somebody that you just met, and um, having the mutual affection. I think that's the best that would bind what a true friendship is. Now, having a true friend doesn't mean that you have been friends with this person for a long time, because in any situation, in all types of relationship, um, it all comes or begins from zero, from like knowing somebody. For example, you have been working with your colleague for like maybe 3 years, and there was just one instance or incident where your acquaintances with each other has to be tested. Like if, let's say, in my situation, I have an ill patient, and it's just so happened that my partner or my buddy in that area is like somebody who has been floated from the ground floor, because I usually work in the first floor, and just so because you had a good flow and mutual understanding with your roles and responsibilities towards that shift, I I believe, in my opinion, that's where a good friendship would start. Then after that, you could start off by having a good conversation, saying, "Oh, we did something good today, and thank you for helping me out." So I believe friendship starts in any form. It starts by giving thanks. It starts from receiving gratitude or thank you from another person. It begins with a smile and a smile back at you, and it all falls down onto one thing. Both of you have a connection because of that mutual affection. It can either be intimate, or it can either be non-intimate. Now, I was checking out and I've listed out some things, and there are some things that was um, kind of a bit confusing, because if you would say what are the types of friends, it's a lot. Some authors would say there are 15 types of friends, there are 8 types of friends, there are 3 types of friends. Now, in my opinion, I think, categorize them into a true friend and an acquaintance. Now, the difference between is a true friend, both would be like your friends, right? Now, a true friend is somebody who actually knows beyond your basic information, or beyond your demographic information, beyond your birthday, your age, your address. It goes beyond those basic information. Acquaintance on the other hand, is also a friend, but somebody who knows your demographic information. So, examples of acquaintances would be like your colleagues, somebody you met on the hallway, probably your neighbor, and mind you, you could have a good and bad acquaintances. So it falls down onto another category. But with having friends, true friends would actually entail somebody who knows that, oh, she wouldn't like this. I think we prefer to have the yellow one because I think she likes this. She had bad experience with those things. So you get the jets. Now, I have collected 4 questions onto some people. I've listed it down, and there's one question that falls. I got a long time friend. We fight on and off. How can we regain the old friendship back? So now it depends now how you fought. You could have an argument on and off, and that is healthy because there are other people who are aggressive and there are other people who are passive. And being in a relationship with a friend, whether it's intimate or not intimate, depends on how your mutual affection goes. Now, if the other person is aggressive and the other person becomes passive, on some instance or on some extent, it would work because some is stopping for a while and letting you just talk and uh, leaving you blow out the things that you wouldn't like. And then on the other incident, that person now who used to be listening to you and letting you shout at him or her would be doing the same thing and you'll be the opposite one. Some relationship it works when both of you are aggressive and both of you tends to be frank with each other, and if that works between your mutual affection or mutual agreement, then nobody could say that you don't have that you have a bad friend or you have a good friend. Now there was a saying, uh, show me who your friends are and I'll show you who you are. Now nowadays it doesn't imply, because like, okay, I would admit, like me, I have a lot of friends, but I only have a few true friends. Now I have friends that they could confide with me, but I am the type of friend that would let you go and meet other people. I wouldn't mind if we don't see like a couple of days, a couple of weeks, but then when we have that common schedule that we could be together, it's like the last time we have been together will continue on that day where we um, had a day off to had a chat or to have coffee. So it's like I don't count the days where you're not there and I was doing a lot of things. I don't count that. Our friendship continues. Our friendship stops when I have to go back at home and you have to stay here, so I'll be leaving you, and then we can just chit chat. The next time we meet, then it continues. So I can say that I won't be answering her calls or her messages or emails and everything. Yeah, that person has the freedom to contact me, and I have the freedom to contact her, and it's just like that. So I'm that type of person. I don't label somebody as my um, group friend or my sister or whoever, because for me, um, everyone has the right to grow and everyone has the right to choose and to explore in a way that is not necessarily same as the way I would explore things. I just hope you would understand what I mean. So having a true friend, or that goes back to another question. Okay, answering that question, we fight on and off on how we would regain our old friendship. I would answer that question to another question. Have you lost your friendship with that person? Because fighting on and off doesn't mean that you have ended the friendship. Okay? Fighting on and off only tells you that you need to grow and you need to explore, and both of you should learn how to know more about each other because you're trying to compromise. So that doesn't mean that if you fight on and off, you have ended a friendship. If, let's say, you fought and somebody would lower down the pride on whoever, or whoever goes down first, then I think that's it. If you're really in a true relationship of being friends with each other, then I think the fight or argument's not going to be a hindrance for both of you to continue the friendship. Now, there's another question. Have you ever had moments when you feel you just had it? What do you do? I do have those moments, but I have to think about the shoe of the other person, because we were not born from the same mother, because even my own sister I argue with, so I couldn't have that same person who would like the way I like something. So I have to have that boundary for myself and for that person, so that we won't be having a moments of cutting the relationship. It's like you have to admit that you can't have it all. You have to admit that you can't take the votes of the voters, because you're only human, more as the other person is. That person is also human, and that person also have his own personal preferences and personal decision to do, and personal experiences and personal moments. So I think answering this question would be, I don't have to be selfish. I have to understand, and that's it. Because if you don't, like what I've said on the first moments of my video, true friend depends on you. What friendship is and what a friend is depends on your preference, on that person's preference, bonded by the mutual affection. How to maintain spontaneity of our relationship? Okay, always think outside the box. Do not close your preferences of having a friend and having been or doing the same thing, wearing the same thing, tasting the same food. It's going to be boring. You have to let the other person grow. You have to let the other person explore even without you. Because even the husband and wives should not always do a lot of or all of the things together. You have to let each other grow. And I think one of the most important factor about the bond of the mutual affection is the trust. Now, there, in having a good relationship with a friend or having a true friendship, entails like a vague of trust between it's a mutual contract. So most often Like in some other types of people, they wanted you to be frank because they are frank. So I think if you know if that person is like that, probably you should also divide yourself on showing him the other side of him and showing it off to him so that he'll be able to realize that, oh, sometimes I'm like that. So probably I shouldn't be, because it hurts when I also tell this to her. So that's how probably she would feel. So I hope you're in the same page as I am. Okay. So how to maintain spontaneity of the relationship? Let him explore and let yourself explore. Do not put yourself in a box where you have to be there where your friend is. Or I wanted to go to the mall, and then your friend is a bit tired from the duty, and by the time you would say, no, I'm tired. So it's like you're obliging him to go with you even if he's tired. Don't you think it's a bit unfair? So it's like you let him explore, and then you explore yourself. Look for somebody who would come with you without obliging your friend, because you have to at least acknowledge his needs and his limitations. And it goes down to trust and respect. So I believe that if you will not put that person in a box, it's not going to be smothering, and spontaneity would happen. Like if he feels like you're giving him the time of respect, one time he will be the one who will offer, oh, would you like to go here, because I know you like to go to a dance, I know you like to go to a movie, we haven't been to the mall for a while, would you like to go? So it's like you're giving him the freedom to think about what you want, so at least for himself he'd be able to offer it to you. Most of the time it's actually nice to have that type of person developing himself from the experience and from the freedom that you are giving. So it's like trying to avoid putting your friend in a box, because he's also human, you know. He has personal dreams, he has personal preferences. So I think it's a bit fair to let him feel the freedom for himself, because at the end of the day, he owns it, or he owes it for himself. And last, I think, is, can you explain what true friendship means? Like what I've said, a true friend is somebody who would let you grow, who would respect you in a way that you wanted to be respected, and somebody who will not label you, because I believe even your pets wouldn't like being labeled, not unless, like, okay, for example, you have a puppy. Um, your puppy is sleeping, but you wanted to cuddle him, so you call him. He doesn't have any choice because you're the one feeding him, so he has to come with you. There are times when I think you're down and that your puppy wanted to play with you. Isn't it not fair that you sometimes, you're just human, you get angry with your pet and you get annoyed, and then you just close your door and leave your pet outside? Same thing with humans. If you train your friend or your acquaintance in a certain task, and one day you got tired yourself, but you're the one who trained, that person will get hurt, and that person will think, no, what's this? We're not doing this anymore, or how come? Um, has he found somebody else, or what? So, to summarize up everything, a friend is somebody that I believe, in my opinion, depends on your preference. You're the only one who would consider that person as your friend, and the relationship is actually bonded by the mutual affection. The mutual affection, in my opinion, I think is the contract, the verbal contract and the emotional contract between you and your friend. So how you treat your friend, I think, would simply be a reflection on how you would like to be treated. So if you want your friend to be free and spontaneous and happy, I believe that you yourself should find ways on how you would feel happy too. And that is your basis on how you treat your friend. Now, argument or fighting or discussion that is against your preference is not actually the limitation or the reason to end a friendship or a relationship. In my opinion, those are just bits of life where both of you has the ability to grow. Now it depends on both of you. That's why from the word relationship, you communicate, you relate in a certain path. You try to relate because there is no individual that is the same as another individual. In a group, I would say you would all have the majority of a vote, but still, if you ask them one by one, the reason of voting the same person will not be the same. They would say because he works fine, because he speaks well, because he smells good, because I like seeing him, those things. But in the end, all of you are voting on the same person. So it's like, it's individualized. The question for that and what a true friendship is how would you define your true friend? Because there's a lot of friends and there's a lot of ways to make friends, and there's different people that you cannot and will never compare to another person, because there's no individual that's alike. And I think I just hope I helped you all, and to Vimala, I just hope that I helped you find a little how would you say, I've been enlightened about it. So just like Latsavir, he is an inanimated friend of mine. I feel comfortable whenever he's here in my accommodation, but if I go and visit my husband, he is my friend. So I think it is on how you would consider the person as true friend. Because if you yourself is a true friend, you would be able to find ways to understand, because you value the relationship that you have, no matter what, no matter how argumentative both of you are, or no matter how sick the words you heard from the other. At the end of the day, you would find yourself being with the same person. So, you know the drill, guys. Thank you for watching, and please try to contact me on my social media, other social media accounts, and feel free to like and subscribe, because Unreliable Aces, you learn nonsense useful things that you can apply on your daily life. So thank you for watching, guys. be having coffee.